Well, season one was like it was such a wild time in my life because I was still touring for my season. Like it was, you remember that
Right.
first year after
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
OG
Yeah. Yeah.
season where you
Of
just did
course.
not stop.
Hmm.
And so I was like just going. I didn't even have time to get anything made. Like it was all literally just like the one designer I was working with at the time, like just pumped it all out. And then I
Hmm.
was like, it was only like after the fact that I was like, oh, shit, I should have put a little bit more effort into these looks. And then season two, it was nice though because you kind of got the glow up moment. But
Yes.
I mean, and yeah, like I look fine, but honestly, like just the level of drag in general on the show. Like I'm not talking about specifically Canada's Drag Race, but more just like Drag Race in general. Like the
Yeah.
level we're seeing, especially with this new All Stars season, is
Girl.
just like what are we supposed to do after this? Like after Plastique, like where do we go from here after God Mick? Like what are we supposed to do? Light ourselves on fire?
It's kind of crazy. Like what one of those crazy moments for me was when hearing how like because Plastique shot her looks in Vietnam, and then how they dyed the sand pink to make sense with the picture. I was like, that is a level of detail, and that like what the are we supposed to do now?
I could never. I could never. Most of us could never. I like that the mind on that girl is like insane.
Yeah.
Like and I don't even want to like I was thinking about it today and I was like remember how people on TikTok or on Twitter are making those like who's the biggest fashion girl? And they had
Yeah.
all those like side by sides and then they had her and I'm like I don't even think calling her a fashion girl is enough.
Yeah,
Like
I
it's
disagree.
not
I
it's like
agree.
beyond
Agree.
fashion.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like it's insane. And I mean, let's talk about spending money. Apparently, she spent like crazy amounts of money, and it looks like she spent crazy amounts of money. But she makes that TikTok money. It's a different
Hello.
level.
It's different, girl. It's
It's
different.
different.
It's different. Like that's the thing also like to get into the social medias of it all, like getting the TikTok and like I'll have like
Hmm.
spurts when I make like a few videos, but it is dedication, right? Like she spends a lot of her time like like creating these TikToks and editing them, and like she's really putting in
Hmm.
that time and effort. So to be so because seen some people mad at well it's not fair because she's on TikTok. But it's like no, but she's putting in the work to make and it's paying off. Like why y'all mad?
That's her job. It's like her literal job, and it literally is a job, and it's a lot of work. Doing
Yeah,
all that is a lot of work. So yeah,
yeah.
good for her. Props to her.
Yeah, props to your mama. Something that I've been thinking about, and I've talked to Trinity about this too, because she's a big pageant lady. And I want your honest opinion if you think that I would have a fighting chance or girl, don't even try. Like, I really, 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 in 2025, I want to focus my energy in this. I want to like put the time in and the energy and everything. And I really want to enter Miss Continental and like really actually compete and try to make a placement.
Yeah, I think you could.
Do you think I can, Brooke? Do you really think I have the stuff? Like, for real, for real?
I Absolutely. I think you have the stuff. I mean, I think Continental has this like everyone thinks it's a trans beauty pageant. And that's like the first because that's
Yeah.
like what it's known for. But honestly, it's really not. Like it's yes, it's a beauty pageant, but like you also have to be smart. You have to be talented. You have to be able to answer a question
Mhm.
and talk. These are all really important parts of the pageant. It's not just about how beautiful you look. I can't tell you the amount of times I've gone to this pageant and seen the most beautiful women not win because they can't put one word in front of the other or they don't have a lick of talent to save their lives. They're just happen to be
Yeah.
pretty. So and you are beautiful in drag and you're smart and
Oh,
you're talented. So
not in
I
drag.
don't
I heard
see
that.
why you
You're a
couldn't
beautiful in drag.
and
And
drag.
girl, scalped.
Scalped. You asked me this last time I was on the pod. You and Bob were like, who would win at Miss Continental, me or Monet? And I said you. I told Bob, I said, Bob, you have a face for Entertainer of the Year.
Oh, wait, so how many times did you compete though before you won?
Twice. I won on my second try.
One on the second try, but that's like
Mm.
unheard of, right? Normally people be like 5 and 6 times.
Yeah, I mean, people have one on their second try, but it's not common.
Common.
Uh, yeah, so I was first runner up to Naisha. Naisha won my first year.
Oh.
Naisha Lopez, and I was her first runner up, and then I went back the next year and I won.
Okay,
Fun
and
fact, I've never placed lower than first runner up ever at a pageant or anything I've ever done.
work. So she would you ever do another pageant system? No, you're like I'm over pageants.
No, I mean it's just not my like pageantry was like a means to an end to kind of get me noticed and kind of get me on the radar for Drag Race. Like
Yeah,
I didn't do it because I wanted to be part of Miss Continental because of the legacy, but like pageants in general has never been something I really cared
yeah.
about.
Yeah, because even when you went on the show, because you won Miss Continental, people like tried to pigeonhole you in the pageant thing, but you quickly like broke out of it because you were like, so. And this is not a shade to pageantry, but like you're not just encompassed in that, right? Some people like that's their identity, they're like the pageant queen, but your persona is bigger than just pageantry, and I don't mean that in a negative way to pageant. No shade to pageant people, please.
No, of course, but well, there is one pageant I would actually do, and it's Universal Show Queen in Hawaii. It's a really great like national pageant. They do it every year, and it's the reason I would do it is because I love it has an amazing like legacy of like the people who have won like some of like the best entertainers have won that pageant.
Mm,
B, I love the Hawaiian people and the culture there, and they're just
yes.
so wonderful. And C, there's no prelims. So you literally win, and then you come back the next year and you got to give it up. And there's no like, it's the whole prelim thing during the year. And like, they treat you like a car salesman, and you have to like sell prelims, and then you have to go to these prelims and perform for like $200 a booking and like all this
Uh-uh.
yeah, yeah, very that. So I was like, no. So yeah, I would do
$200
that.
a
I would do
booking.
that pageant.
Ooh.
That's what they're paying the national title holders. 200 to $250 and a ticket on Southwest Airlines.
Okay, my first time ever having a booking outside of New York was before Drag Race. It was Roscoe's. Well, no, the first one was in Florida. But then Roscoe's was my second one. It was for. Do you remember XYZ? I mean, did you XYZ on Sundays in Chicago? I don't know if you used
Yeah,
to.
yeah. Hmm.
They booked me at XYZ. Shauna booked me at XYZ. And I had never like traveled for drag before. Well, the second time, but like, second time I ever done it. And then never traveled on Southwest before. So I'm like, oh, Southwest Airlines. I get to the airport. I check in at the airport, blah, 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 blah. Bitch, when I didn't realize you'd have no seats, it's like a fucking cattle call, like Golden Corral, just run into. I was like, this is a horrible idea for an airline, but it's so cheap. So I guess it does work, but it is horrible. I know girls that still travel Southwest after the race.
Who?
I'm not gonna say no names, that's their business, but I was like, girl, no.
Oh
No!
no, ma'am, no, ma'am. I mean, before Drag Race, when you kind of had to get yourself around, absolutely, it was the one because, like
Yes.
you said, it was cheap. It was cheap. It didn't cost anything to change flights, like all that. But once someone else was paying for it, girl, no.
Yeah, like it's not worth it. I mean, but if you have to use Southwest Airlines to get around, more power to you.